I've gotten a number of questions lately about the gear that I'll be using on my hike through the 100-mile wilderness in Maine. On July 25th, I'll be starting at the base of Katahdin, then hiking south to Monson, taking about 100 miles, and then hopefully doing another 36 miles to Caratunk, Maine. So this is my backpack. It is, the base weight, as you would say, is about 12 pounds. So that's a pretty light pack. For a multi-day trip. The backpack itself is the Z-Pax Nero. It's a frameless pack. The goal of this backpack is to be as light as possible. So it's not as comfortable as some heavier backpacks, but it is very light. On the outside, I keep this little sit pad. This weighs about an ounce. And it's surprisingly useful. It makes sitting a lot more comfortable in those moments at camp when I'm doing just that. In this little pack here, this little mesh pocket, I can keep my hat. This also goes onto my hat to help keep my neck out of the sun. Then I keep my tarp in here. So one, for quick access so that I can set it up really easily. Two, of all the things that are gonna be in the mesh and could get wet or may already be wet, the tarp is high among them. As a sleep system, the tarp is the lightest. It's a lot lighter than a tent. It's lighter than sleeping in a hammock. You are a lot more exposed, so there's a mental factor there. You have to be comfortable sleeping out in the elements, being exposed. But, for me, I'm tall and tents are small. So the tarp is great. Even though I'm exposed, I have as much room as I want. I really like that about the tarp setup. Also on the outside of the pack, I've fitted some cord here. Among ultralight hikers, having a sleeping pad of this thickness, this is a 1/4 inch. It's common to sleep with a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 inch even if your goal is to be as light as possible. What's different about this pad is its footprint. It's 25 inches wide and it's 80 inches long. So it's longer than most sleeping pads and it's wider than most sleeping pads. Not super ultralight in that sense, but I just wasn't willing to sacrifice size and the comfort that it provides. Being 6'4", I just need a larger pad, and my elbows actually get cold, so this pad allows me to keep my elbows off the ground. Sticking with the outside, I use the Smart Water bottles. These are considered the gold standard in the hiking community. 2 1-liter bottles. It's a lot of water if I need it. Then I've got my map. This is my map of the 100-mile wilderness, and to be as ultralight as possible, I saved 1 ounce by cutting out the tiles of the map that I don't need. Switching to the straps, in these front mesh pockets, I'll keep my iPod mini, my headphones, some chapstick. Inside of it, I've got my water filter and a mosquito head net. In the left mesh pocket, I keep some pepper spray. This isn't actually bear spray, it's just pepper spray intended for people. So some people say it's not actually providing protection against bears. I like to have it, it makes me feel safer. I'll also store my headlamp and some bug spray in the pockets with me. The bug spray, it's a little heavier at 3 ounces, but it really goes a long way. And I'm sure you're noticing this. This is my Garmin InReach Mini. It's a satellite communications device that allows me to stay in touch with family and friends while I'm in areas of the wilderness that may not get cell service. In these hip pockets, I keep items that are either heavier to keep that weight off of my back or that I may need quick access to, such as a first aid kit. On the heavier side, I do have like a charger, 10,000 milliamp portable charger, and an extra flashlight because I may be doing some hiking at night. I want to keep my options open, so I've got a headlamp and a flashlight. Digging into the roll top enclosure of the Z-Pax Nero, I've got like a shaker bottle for a protein shake, but I actually use this for cold soaking, so the dehydrated beans that I'll rehydrate or the couscous that I hydrate on trail, that all takes place without a stove just to save weight. At 2.6 ounces, this weighs more than the ultralight gold standard of the Peter Pan peanut butter jar, but this is rock solid. I can drop it, it's not gonna fall. It's got a carabiner loop. If I want to drink from it, I can do that as well. So just given that this is a mission critical item, I need this to eat. I'm okay with it being a little bit heavier because of the security it provides. I've been hiking with 3 bandanas lately. Instead of any kind of towel, just 3 bandanas. Pretty versatile. This is a new item. This is a bug mesh that my mom made for me. So this is something that I can put over my entire torso. It can even cover some of my legs if I were to sit in the lotus position. So this is going to keep bugs off me as I rest, as I eat, as I'm sitting at camp before I go to bed, and even while I'm sleeping I can have this on me to stay bug free. I've brought a down jacket with me. It's what I wear in the winter. This is a just in case item. I don't expect it to go below 60 degrees when I'm out there, but just in case, always feels better to have a down jacket. This is another item I got from Z-Packs. It's part lightweight Dyneema, but also some fleece on the inside of it. So it can be used as a bag, and then at night when I need a pillow, I can put the clothes that I'm not wearing inside of it to provide some head support and comfort while I sleep. Digging further into my bag, raincoat. This is a Frog Togs raincoat. Pretty cheap item that you can get at Walmart. I'd say about $20, and it's great because it's under 6 ounces. Does what it needs to do, keeps me dry. Then I've got a bag liner where I keep my clothing. So even though the Dyneema of the Z-Packs Nero is waterproof, this pack liner allows me to create a partition in my bag between dry and wet items. Definitely want to keep my clothing dry, and if anything else that I have, like my jacket, gets wet, I can keep those items apart inside my bag. Here I have 2 pieces of polycro. So this is the same plastic that you'd put on your windows in the winter to provide additional insulation. These actually make really good ground sheets for under. I put these under my sleeping pad, put my sleeping bag on top of it all. So it keeps me dry, keeps you a little bit off the ground, keeps bugs from coming in. It's really thin material, but if you take care of it, it will last. And then the last thing in my bag is my sleeping bag itself. It's an REI 25 degree sleeping bag. This is one of the heavier items that I have. It's 1.9 pounds. It's by no means ultralight, and I'm okay with that. All my other gear is pretty ultralight, so that means it's not as durable. It may not be as reliable. Of all the things that I want to be able to rely on, the sleeping bag just felt like a safe one. If nothing else, I can hop in my sleeping bag and wait out the situation.